Okay, so here's what I need. There's a game, it's called Minecraft, and within the game there are a bunch of different items. So what I'm doing is building apps that use a bunch of information about items. So what I need is someone to populate information in effectively an item database. Each item has a name, it has a recipe, and the recipe is basically the other items you need to make the item in question. And then it has a screenshot as well. So this is kind of the rough admin panel I've made. There are a bunch of different items. So I've already done exactly what I'm about to show you, and I did it for everything you see here. And within Minecraft, there are literally thousands of items. This is, I don't know, probably 1/10 of everything that exists. And basically, I need to add some more. So the first thing that would be required is creating the recipe information for each specific item. Now, this is really cryptic, but if you go to recipe creator, it's not too bad. So if you want to make whatever this is, you need the crafting table, and then you have to arrange these other items in this specific order. Now, this information comes from wikis, so I don't know what mod this is, but each mod has its own respective wiki, and each wiki has the recipe for all the items in the mod. So all this you basically just borrow from another site, and the items that you could put in the recipe you basically just create here. So if you want to make a new item, you select the mod. Right now I have, well, 7. You'd enter the name. You'd skip the recipe because all that gibberish will actually be generated by the recipe generator that we just saw. And then public would be 1, and that would be it. So that's 1/2 of everything. And then the slightly trickier half is creating and capturing the image for the item. So for that, you're actually going to run Minecraft. Oh, hold on. What am I doing? There we go. Alright, so you're going to run Minecraft, and it's a specific version of Minecraft. I already installed it, but I'm not going to show you that process. There are a couple different applications you need to actually do what I'm about to show you. They're all free, and they're all pretty easy to get. It'll take about half an hour to install everything. They're like, I don't know, it's not a big deal, but I'm just not going to show you that now. So once you're in Minecraft, you do single player. I already created this world, so we'll just reuse it. You'd have to make a new one, but that just is you clicking on a different button. So it'll load, and then the goal once it loads is to load. What was it doing? Okay, there we go. And I'm underwater. That's present. Okay, yeah, that wasn't the goal, but it's fine. Good God, now I'm back underwater. Okay, so in the game, you're basically going to take screenshots of all the items, and the items show up when you press E. So everything is over here. So if you wanted to capture, I forget what the thing was that I already showed you. It doesn't really matter. Let's say you want a wooden sword. So you get rid of that. You type in wooden sword. So it actually shows up right here. So then what you do is you take a screenshot of that. I think the snipping tool is what you're going to want to use. So this will come up. There we go. So you'll do this. It'll already copy itself automatically. So then you'd go into Photoshop, create a new image or whatever. And the size of all the images is going to be 100 by 100. Okay, so you paste it in there. And then the one piece of image editing that you need to do is you need to make the background transparent. So in this case, the background is really messy. So to make it transparent is just bad. So what I'd actually recommend you do is in the game, before you capture your image, you basically just make everything black um, by blocking out all the light. You do the same thing, but now you have a fairly consistently black background. So when you do this, you paste it, then magically it should be pretty easy to make the background transparent. Yeah, okay. So that's basically 95% of it. The one tricky issue is that, as you can see, this image doesn't fill up the 100 by 100 block, and we need to fill up the 100 by 100 block, otherwise it's not going to look right in the applications. So in order to do that, what we have to do is resize the application window to be bigger than the screen. And the only way to do that, or at least the only way that I found, is an application called Screenspace. So with Screenspace, what you're doing is, I just pressed the hotkey, and you can drag the image, and you can resize the image such that it's now significantly bigger than it was previously. And not only does it make this bigger, it actually makes it look better, because the way that Minecraft works, if you have a really small screen, the graphics engine will try and render it at a very low resolution. Whereas if you have a very large screen, or in our case like a pseudo large screen, it'll actually add additional detail. It won't just scale a fixed image to be bigger and lose quality. It'll scale, it won't even scale, it'll just render a higher quality image that's bigger. So this will help us meet the 100 by 100 criteria, and it'll also help us just make everything look better. So we go to the snipping tool again, we do this, go into Photoshop or whatever. You probably have to close this. Okay, yeah, and then we have an image that fills the entire space that, at least in theory, looks a little better. So you'd go, you'd save for web, you'd make the background transparent, you'd save, and the file name you'd save it as would correlate to the item ID. So I don't know what the item ID is for the wooden sword. It's in the bin interface that I just showed you. So let's just say it's 200, and then you're done. So that's it. It's pretty easy to do this quickly once you're reasonably familiar with the process. So each screenshot will take about a minute to do. The item recipes are a little longer. So to find an item and to enter the recipe probably takes about 2 minutes. The screenshot, again, takes a minute. So each new item probably takes about 2 to 3 minutes. And for items that already exist, if you just want the screenshot, then it's just a minute. That's really about it. When you're going through this and you have screen space loaded, yeah, you won't have to resize this every time. It should, in most cases, retain the larger version. So when you flip out of this and you go into Photoshop, and then you flip back, yeah, it'll still be a larger screen. But if you do resize it again like that, it'll break. So don't do that. You'll have to play with that a little bit. It'll take you, I don't know, 10 minutes to get used to using screen space to resize. and getting it to work the way you want it to work. Basically what you're going to want to eventually have happen is when you're resizing this, it just retains its size over and over. You come down here while keeping screen space open. You type in stone sword or whatever the item is. You come back here, you do the snipping tool, you go into Photoshop, you come right back here, and you just type in something else, and that's the process. Okay, hopefully that explains it reasonably well. If you have any more questions, I can either answer them through text or I can make another video. Okay, bye.